Okay, so
Yeah.
get ready because today we are diving deep into The Price of Tomorrow by Jeff Booth.
This one is a wild ride, I'll tell you.
It really is, and Booth makes some really fascinating points about technology, economics, even human psychology.
He covers a lot of ground, that's for
He
sure.
really does. So, like, the basic idea here is that technology is driving us toward a future where deflation, not inflation, is kind of the norm.
Right, and that's a pretty big deal because our entire economic system is built on the idea of inflation.
Exactly. So we're talking about a pretty fundamental shift in, well, in just about everything.
Right.
So to start, how about those hard drives?
Oh yeah, those giant things from back in the day.
Yeah, like the size of a shoebox or
And
something.
there, they took up half your desk.
Yeah.
But in the 60s, 1 megabyte of storage on those things,
Hmm.
$1 million.
$1 million?
$1 million. And today, that same megabyte, pennies.
See, that's insane. That's exactly what Booth is talking about.
It's incredible, and it's not just storage, it's everything.
So it's not just that technology gets cheaper over time.
It's that it changes the whole game. The cost of production, everything. Think about it. Music streaming versus buying CDs.
Right. Ebooks versus physical books.
Exactly. It's happening everywhere you look.
And it's not just digital stuff either, right? Like Booth talks about solar energy.
Oh yeah, solar's becoming cheaper than fossil fuels.
Which is huge. Okay, so if tech pushes prices down, why does it feel like I'm like constantly paying more for everything?
That's where things get really interesting. It's because our current economic system is, well, it kind of clashes with this whole technological progress thing.
So we're trying to like swim upstream against a really strong current,
Basically, governments are stuck in this cycle of, trying to create inflation.
printing money, low interest rates, all that.
Exactly. And Booth argues that this is, well, it's unsustainable in the long run.
He actually compares it to rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic.
Yeah, which is a little dramatic, maybe.
A little bit, but his point is that it's, we're ignoring the bigger problem. And he says that by clinging to this outdated model, we're actually making things worse.
Right. He says it's leading to more inequality, fueling political instability.
It's even playing a role in like the rise of extremism.
Yeah, it's all connected.
So if our current systems are like struggling to adapt, who is actually like winning in this new world?
That's where Booth's analysis of those big tech companies.
Like Google, Amazon, those guys.
Exactly. He calls them super monopolies.
And these super monopolies, they've kind of cracked the code, haven't they? At least in terms of this new economic landscape.
They really have. Yeah, they figured out how to use technology to create these massive networks.
Yeah.
And what's fascinating is that most of these platforms, they don't actually own the stuff they're selling.
It's true.
They don't own the products. They don't own the content. They're like these ultimate middlemen.
Right, like Amazon. They sell, what, everything under the sun, but they don't make most of it?
Exactly. They've created this platform where other people can sell their stuff.
And that gives them a ton of power.
It really does.
Yeah.
Because they control access to this huge base of buyers.
And in a deflationary world, being able to offer the lowest prices is, like, everything.
Exactly. And these platforms, they're really good at using tech to drive down costs.
So it's not just about connecting buyers and sellers, right? Booth also talks a lot about data and AI.
Oh yeah, AI is a huge part of this. Think about it. Remember when AI started beating humans at chess
And Go, right?
and Go?
Yeah.
I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
what's next?
Yeah.
And Booth's point is that those breakthroughs, they were possible because of the incredible growth in computing power.
And the amount of data we're generating these days it's mind-boggling.
It really is.
So AI is like learning at warp speed.
Exactly. And that's impacting, well, everything really.
Yeah.
Healthcare, transportation, finance.
Like imagine a world where your doctor has access to all of your health data.
Not just your medical records, but like real-time data from your smartwatch.
So it's like having a personal health assistant on your wrist.
It's kind of like that, yeah.
Wild.
And that's just one example. Booth thinks AI can help us solve some of our biggest challenges.
That's exciting. But also, I don't know, a little bit
A little bit what?
daunting, you know? Like what happens to jobs when AI can do so much?
That's the big question, isn't it? And it's one that a lot of people are worried about.
Yeah.
But Booth's argument is that we shouldn't be afraid of this change. We should see it as an opportunity.
An opportunity.
Yeah, an opportunity to like rethink our relationship with work altogether.
So instead of robots are taking our jobs, it's more like,
More like robots are freeing us up to do more meaningful work.
okay, I like that.
Right.
But that's a pretty big mindset shift.
It is. It requires us to be, well, proactive.
Mm-hmm.
In education, about job training, we need to make sure people have the skills they need for this new world.
So we're at this, like, fork in the road. One path is, we cling to the old ways. We try to fight the current. And the other path is
The other path is embracing the potential of abundance.
abundance, huh? That's kind of hard to wrap my head around when we're talking about, all this economic upheaval and robots taking over everything.
It's a big shift, right?
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
almost like trying to imagine a new color.
Right. Like, what does that even mean?
Yeah. And that's kind of Booth's point, We have to like break free from our current way of thinking to even imagine what's possible.
Okay, so indulge me. What does a future of abundance look like? Paint me a picture.
Okay, well, imagine a world where everyone has access to affordable, renewable energy.
Okay. Yep.
Education that's personalized to how you learn best.
Okay, I like where this is going.
Healthcare that's, not just about treating diseases, but
Yep.
but about preventing them in the first place.
So it's about, like, using technology to actually solve our problems, not just create new ones.
Exactly.
It sounds kind of utopian, I'm not going to lie.
It does, doesn't it? But Booth's argument is that we actually have, like, the tools to make it happen.
We have the technology, but we're missing.
The mindset.
Right, right. So how do we get there? How do we shift from, like, this scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And it's not easy. I mean, think about how often we're bombarded with messages of fear, of scarcity, of, us versus them.
Oh, constantly. I mean, it's everywhere you look these days. The news, social media.
It's exhausting.
It really is.
And it makes it hard to even imagine a different way of being.
Totally. So what do we do? How do we break out of that?
Well, I think it starts with awareness.
Yeah.
Like recognizing those messages for what they are.
Okay.
And then like actively seeking out different perspectives. Don't stay stuck in your echo chamber.
Right. Right.
Talk to people who disagree with you. Read things that challenge your assumptions.
It's about being, like, actively open-minded.
Exactly. And it's not just about like what you think, it's also about what you do.
So, like, our actions matter too.
They totally do. Support businesses that align with your values. Get involved in your community.
Vote.
Yes. Vote. All those things matter.
Okay, so it's about, like, making conscious choices that reflect the kind of world we want to live in.
Exactly.
I like that.
It's not about, waiting for someone else to fix things. It's about recognizing that we all have a role to play.
That's pretty empowering when you think about it like that.
It is. And it can be, it can be overwhelming sometimes, all the challenges we're facing.
Totally.
But Booth's book, I think it offers a sense of hope,
Yeah, yeah.
Like if we can shift our mindset, if we can start to see the potential for abundance instead of just scarcity, then maybe, just maybe, we can create a future that actually works for everyone.
I like to think so. Well, on that note, to everyone listening, we want to hear from you. What resonated with you from The Price of Tomorrow? How do you think technology will shape our future? Hit us up on social media, share your thoughts, and until next time, keep learning, keep questioning, and keep those conversations going.